Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Convention with the With You Comic Book Roundup. We're at the last of our DC books for the week. So, let's dive into DC's I Know What You Did Last Crisis. This is DC's annual Halloween-themed seasonal one-shot, focusing on, the various crisis events. And we've got, let's see, 8 stories. First off, we've got Batgirl and What Kind of Hero, set during Crisis on Infinite Earths, and the world is ending. But Batgirl's questioning what kind of hero she is. But she rescues a family that's had a run-in with Killer Croc, and then rescues a little girl from that family. When the little girl follows her in the sewers, and the sewers collapse, Croc saves her, and Barbara finally realizes what kind of hero she is at the end of the world. Then we've got Dr. Light in Constant State of Healing. This is set during the Millennium crossover. Dr. Light has to deal with a homicidally psychopathic manhunter. Then, during the final night, we've got Black Canary in The Birds of Prey and Dearly Departed. Dinah is at Barbara's behest and looking into people who've been kidnapped, seemingly by the Scarecrow. But apparently Scarecrow is the least of her worries, and she deals with Silver Banshee. And then has to work through, and while dealing with Silver Banshee, has to work through Crane's fear toxin. But Dinah defeats Silver Banshee and makes her way onward. Then during Zero Hour, we've got the JSA in at the point of vanishing. Largely focuses on sand, and he ends up having to deal with. I cannot even I can't even remember that villain's name. But deals with one of the major villains of Zero Hour. But ends up getting help from Wildcat in the end. Then we've got Nightwing in Crisis Obscura, written by former DC Editor-in-Chief Danny Dio, who famously wished to kill off Nightwing during Infinite Crisis and various other subsequent major DC crossovers. On Halloween, Nightwing follows someone into a building a warehouse in Gotham. Turns out it's Superboy, Connor Kent. Connor claims that Dick was supposed to die during Infinite Crisis, and not him. That was supposed to be the point when Bruce, Diana, and Clark stepped aside for the next generation of heroes. And so Nightwing's death is set on a loop. And there are various crystal shards, which Wonder Girl, well, Cassie, Wonder Woman now, feels should probably be stored in the Watchtower. And there are the various scenarios for killing Dick off are, yeah. Then we've got the Scarecrow in Jump Scare. During Blackest Night, there's the Monarch Theater is in the midst of its Halloween at the Monarch viewing schedule. Horror movies. I'd love it. I would probably just want to spend the entire month there. Got some great ones too. Presumably the original versions of Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. Also Return of the Living Dead 1, 2, and 3. The Birds, Psycho, Dial M for Murder, Evil Dead 2, Dread Castle, Child's Play, Halloween, Scream, and presumably also the remakes of Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead. But a couple has just watched Dread Castle, and girl has forgotten her jacket, but in the theater, so guy goes to go back and get it, and runs into the Scarecrow. And apparently, though, it's one of Scarecrow's experiments into basically measuring the effects. And potentially seeing if shared vision is possible. But in the end, he really just wants to feel fear again himself. But the story ends with a yellow ring appearing before him and saying, "Jonathan Crane of Earth, you have the ability to instill great fear." Then we've got Lex Luthor and God's Chosen Man, taking place during Final Crisis, as Luthor pieces together Libra's plan, and pretty much at the nick of time, basically sacrificing all the villains to Darkseid, and allowing Darkseid to take over. But in his mind basically convince him to try anything by basically forming a vision of Superman. I'm saying he can't do it. Our final story is Violent Tendencies, set during Flashpoint. Midnighter attends a costume party. There's apparently a serial killer on the loose, and Lucas Trent, Midnighter, is what's the term? Dosed by Professor Pig. Professor Pig tries to kill him. Turns out Professor Pig is the serial killer that's on the loose. And, Midnighter turns the tables on him and claims that Batman is not the only authority on killing monsters in Gotham. The Midnighter stalks the streets too. And that is where the issue ends. There's an interesting one shot. I do enjoy DC's seasonal one shots. I do have my slight issues. Sometimes it seems like, there's no, there doesn't seem to be a. Rarely do you get A-list talent on them. If there when there's A-list talent on them, it's usually something that someone that's A-list but really hasn't had a big story recently, like Dan DiDio. But it was good. I especially like the Batgirl story, with Barbara trying to figure out what kind of hero she is when the world is literally, when not just the world but existence is literally ending. It was fun to see the glimpses into the various other events. Some of the most of them actually, I didn't read in the first place because I wasn't really in reading DC Comics at the time. But anyways, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, Mastodon, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.